This video is brought to you by Asub12 Productions. Please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to enjoy the videos. Also, please try and comment and rate the videos. Thank you. Hey guys, Asub here and welcome to C++ tutorial number 13. I've decided we won't be doing the calculator tutorial this tutorial, we'll be doing that in the next tutorial. So we've got all the necessary knowledge. I just want to cover this little bit quickly before we do actually go on to it. So let's just open up Visual C++. In this tutorial we're actually going to be covering a bit more of the break statement and the completely new continue statement. And excuse me, I understand this might be quite a hard topic to understand. I realize I just said understand twice there. It's kind of hard to understand because the continue statement can be a tiny bit confusing, but you should hopefully grasp it easily. So just include IOStream, int main again, and again we're declaring a control and giving a value of 0. And this time the control doesn't actually control the loop. In fact, it probably shouldn't even be called control because it doesn't control anything, but I've decided to call it control anyway. And as well, we're just going to be looking in this tutorial quickly about infinite loops. So here we actually have an infinite loop because what we're saying here is while true, and the condition of this loop will always be true because true is always true. You can't change that, okay? So we have successfully created a an infinite loop, sorry. And the only way to get out of an infinite loop is to have a break statement. And so let's just take a look at what we're actually doing here. We're going to skip this first statement here that says continue if control equals 5, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at this second else if. Well, the first else if, the second statement in the if block, and this just says else if control equals 10 equals 10, sorry, break. And I think when I was going over the switch tutorial, we had to use a break there, and I said breaks should work in if blocks, and they don't. So you're probably wondering, well, what's this going to do then if it doesn't work in the if block? Well, basically breaks out of the curly braces, the nearest curly braces that it can break out of, that C++ says it's possible to break out of. So while it can't break out of these curly braces, the only other curly the nearest pair of curly braces that it can break out of are the while curly braces. So here we've successfully created a way out of this infinite loop, and so it's therefore no longer an infinite loop. And right at the beginning of the loop we're just increasing the value of control. We're going to look at another way of doing this. We can create a while true. We can create a while loop and increment a variable like this, but there is actually another type of variable which does the same thing more efficiently. We're going to look at that after we've done the calculator tutorial. So anyway, we're just incrementing control here, and then right at the end, after checking if it's 5 or 10, we're outputting the value of control. So let's just take a look. Basically what this should do, right, is it will output 1, theoretically it should output 1 to 9, because remember the outputting is actually coming after the block, so it won't output 10 because it's checking if it's 10 here, and it will break before it can output 10. So theoretically it should output 1 to 9, but we're going to see a little slip up here if we just run it. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait a minute, where's the 5 there? And if we take a look here, we can see we've got this this if statement, and it says if control equals 5, which it will be at some point in the loop, it has to be, continue. And you're probably slightly confused, you know, if it says continue, doesn't that just mean continue on with the loop? But actually what this does is the continue statement skips whatever iteration of the loop it is on, okay? So what's going to happen is it's going to be the control variable, it's going to be 4, and it's going to be 4, we're going to output it, and then it's going to hit the end, it's going to loop back over, because true is still true, remember. It's going to increment control to 5, so now control is 5, and it's going to hit this if block, and control is equal to 5, so it's going to hit this continue statement. And continue is going to tell it to skip this iteration of the loop. So what's going to happen is it's going to completely skip everything after this continue statement. It's going to say, wait a minute, continue, completely skip all this rubbish. So while it would skip this else if anyway, because remember it hit a true value in the if block, so it doesn't output the else if. But it's going to skip this output statement. So yeah, that's basically what it does. Continue skips whatever iteration of the loop you're on. So we could have, let's just try, oops, undo caps lock. Oops, okay, there we go. And let's just close this. We're going to run it again. And what we're going to see is hello 1, hello 2, hello 3, hello 4, hello, hello 6, hello 7, hello 8, hello 9, hello, and what should be 10 there, but it breaks before we can get there. So, and here we can see hello 4, hello, hello 6, and that's happening because it's still outputting the hello here, but it hits the continue statement. And that will completely skip this output statement. Actually, I'm just going to do a test here. Test for myself, actually. What I want to see, hopefully this will work out as I thought it would. What's going to happen is it should run exactly the same way as it did before. Yeah, good. Okay, this demonstrates my point extremely well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. It outputted exactly the same way as before. And the reason being it didn't output hello, even though it's in the if block, remember, as soon as it hits continue statement, it skips everything else in that iteration of the loop, and it will go straight to the next iteration of the loop. So it will go straight to incrementing 6. It will skip everything after the continue statement. Another way to think of it is, as opposed to skipping, which is what it really does. I'll explain why in a sec, why we say it skips. But as opposed to saying it skips, you could just say it goes back to the top of the loop, okay? Because that's essentially what it does. But the reason we say it skips everything after the continue statement is because we're actually saying continue. We're not saying top or anything, are we? If we were saying top, then it would be more like we're going back to the top of the loop. But whereas continue, we're saying skip all this and continue with the loop on the next iteration. So you can think of it either way, though. It does work both ways. Hopefully I've explained continue easily enough for everyone. And you can use continue in loops. I think that's the only place you can actually use it in. I'm not aware of anywhere else you can use a continue statement in. You might be able to use it in ifs, but remember when we tried to use a break in an if and it didn't work. And continue and break statements are they're very closely linked because they sort of operate. They're in the same area of operation. You know, the continue statement skips the loop, the iteration of the loop. The break statement breaks out of the loop. So they're kind of in the same area of operation. And please note you can use these with all loops, so this will work in a do while loop as well. And the final type of loop we're going to look in 2 tutorials after this. So anyway, this has just been a quick tutorial by ASAP 12. I realize some of this may be a bit complicating, so please leave some comments or PM me if you need to ask me any questions. Anyways, over and out.